said. And what we're going to look at, I've never given assurance, or I'm not sworn to secrecy or anything. I would just rather have avoided it, because there's some things that you don't want to have to talk about. And sometimes you don't have a choice. And so that's where we are right now. I've covered Solid Rock. I've covered Solid Rock Church, and the off the chart, maybe predator behavior of one of the founding pastors, Lawrence Bishop Sr., married to Darlene Bishop. And it's out there, it's out there, it's out there. And Darlene Bishop's silence and her enabling over her husband's behavior has resulted, and I'm just going to go there, and I don't want to, Robin, but Darlene Bishop has a son that she's excommunicated from the church, made him sign a non-disclosure agreement in exchange for money, and he happens to be married to a victim of his father who is deceased, and a victim who is also a victim of Darlene Bishop's ex-husband that she never put a stop to. But rather, and everybody knew it. When I started looking at this story, everybody knows it. Everybody knew it. But you're supposed to act like somehow you don't know it, like somehow that's being kind. And that's being kind to all the other victims out there. And I could tell more of the story, but I was really insulted when eventually I was called, and her name is Selena Bishop, and called and asked if I would somehow get involved with referring victims of Lawrence Sr. to some counseling place in Blue Ash, Ohio, and her husband would pay for it. And I'm sorry for doing all this talking. We're going to analyze these clips, Robin. I'm trying to set it up, and I'm not setting it up quick. And guess what? When she called me, her husband didn't know she was calling me. Don't play me. So anyway, I'm going to play a piece of video, and we're going to comment on it. But this is sad. It's really, really sad. But it's also Stockholm Syndrome, where you're defending the very thing that has harmed you. Here we go.
I don't want to weaponize what I've been through, but I will, set my heart on building something that's different. And, and there's a lot of naysayers and people there's always going to be skeptics, and it might not be for everybody, but that's.
Okay, Robin, what's the main thing to comment on is coming up, but I'm going to ask you on the fly, and you haven't heard this before. She's saying, I don't want to weaponize what I've been through. Now, just listen to those words. If somebody is saying, I don't want to weaponize what I've been through, does that mean they've been through something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when she's saying, I don't want to weaponize what I've been through, she's actually saying, I don't want to harm the people that put me through what I've been through. Yeah. Robin, does that make any sense at all?
No, but again, in these systems, there is so much fear of losing your community, losing your finances, the exposure, the retaliation. It's all based on fear. And that sounds like something that somebody beat into her head rather than something that she just came up with, my opinion. But that is a classic symptom of that's Stockholm Syndrome right there in a nutshell.
Well, the real pay dirt on this clip is coming. I'm going to let it play.
I know. That's kind of like where I'm coming from.
I understand. I'd like to ask two questions.
Sure.
One, what was Darlene's reaction when you told her that you'd been raped by her deceased husband?
Everett, you're good at what you do.
No, I'm not good at what I do. This is me. I'm asking a sincere question. Did she try to bring... How did she handle that?
Oh, you know, that's a very private question.
I'm sure that it is.
I'm not gonna confirm or deny that. I don't want to get into that. But
I understand.
I respect you asking. So you said you have another question. What's the
And
next one?
here's the second question. Robin.
Yeah.
I'm springing this on you. I never, ever, ever wanted to go, I didn't want to have to, but I'm right. I wrote down the word private question, but when somebody is protecting what harmed them, and that system is continuing to harm others, are we supposed to guard that and keep that secret?
No, absolutely not. And that's even what happens in families when there is incest and child molesting a lot of times. Okay? It goes back generations and generations and generations, and it takes one person to speak out, and and then you find out, oh yeah, that happened with this person and that person, and it goes back so far in your family, but nobody's doing anything to stop it. Nobody is trying to get resolution because they're so comfortable with what they know that having healing, having exposure, this really getting out in the open, because you cannot heal what is hidden.
Right.
They are so fearful of not only that, but what's her husband going to think of her? What's Darlene going to say to her? Because they're going to see this, they're going to hear this.
Well, there's a wrinkle in this one that we haven't got to. I guess I said in that conversation, and I'm not gonna replay it, not gonna do a famous Ohio for Freedom backup, but just for time's sake. I'll just play this clip. This is my second question. She has projected an image that is false to all the people that have supported, all the people, and so she's part of something that is fault. And see, it's not just the SA victims that are victims. It's the people that she has lied to and to get money out of and position out of. I just have to ask then why? And this is going to hit close to home, but here we go. Why would Lawrence Jr. relay your story to other people in order to influence them to come to meetings where he is preaching and ostensibly support with offerings and their attendance? If we're not going to deal with that, why are you using that story to influence people to support you?
Well, I will say that, how do I want to answer this? So you think he was sharing the story in an effort to garner support for himself?
I don't think, I know, because I have the audio.
Well, I think that here's where we're a little bit different.
Yeah.
I think like sometimes there are facts, and then facts with different contexts are different, and I'm not justifying it, but
Robin, are facts with different contexts different facts, or just your reaction to that?
Well, I mean, I think there can certainly be different perspectives on things depending on what your personal experience is. But when you know that what is being said is true and you're still trying to cover it up, then you not only become somewhat culpable, but there is definitely something else going on with her specifically as a victim.
Yeah. And Robin, I'm plowing through this because I will say this. I do not, I would never have brought this up in this way, except I was played. Okay. Somebody attempted to play me and get me to go along with something that I ain't going to go along with. And you're in the same situation. You take phone calls from whistleblowers or whatnot, but in a situation like this, I don't need no supposed pastor's wife calling me on the phone and their husband doesn't even know they're calling. Now, don't be doing that. Do not be doing that. But this would have never come up except this piece of audio had already found its way into the coffers, and I'm going to play that. And I know that
the trash, if it comes to Solid Rock anymore, just throw it in the trash. You need to put up a mailbox. I used to get my mail at the church because they couldn't. My address was left.
And Robin, I'm hitting this blind here, but this is Lawrence Bishop. He's going to be preaching in a couple of days at somebody else's church, and he's talking to a former member of Solid Rock Church, wanting them to drive an hour and a half to go see him preach. And of course, if you go to a church service, you got to leave an offering. But that's what's going on. It's a phone call for that purpose.
If they couldn't find, they would take my mail to Lebanon down like by the Golden Lamb. That they, for some reason, my address don't show up right here on GPS, or it didn't for years. So I just picked up my mail at the church. It made it easier. So they cut off my mail. They cut off my phone. And I was in Oklahoma. I didn't have a phone for 4 days. They couldn't get my phone. And I've just been harassed nonstop. My sister sent me 3 certified letters threatening to sue me for cutting down 2 trees on her property. And I have never cut down a tree in my life. Had no idea what she's even talking about. It's just on and on and on and on. Just they threw stuff in my driveway, threw no signs, trash in my driveway, been harassed, but I know that God's my he's my source and he's my defense. And like I said, men of integrity, time to tell the truth. And people are going to know the truth. When someone has taken something from your wife like that when she was 19 years old, and then when she finally, because the Christian counselor told her she didn't tell somebody that it was going to destroy her. I didn't know why she was going to 2 counselors for 2 years. I thought, what in the world are you doing all this counseling for? Well, then when she finally, someone spoke out before she did and wrote all those letters to the church. We still don't know who done that. We had nothing to do with that. So my whole family blames Selena. They blame the victim for all the downfall of Solid Rock. They're like, oh, this is all Selena's fault. Oh, okay. She gets raped by a maniac that says he's a man of God that was her pastor since she was 13 years old.
I'll jump in right there, Robin. I just had to play it. Go ahead.
I'm shocked that he actually used those words, that he used the word rape.
He did. And I'm not going to replay it. He's talking about who was her pastor it was his dad. I mean, there's no wiggling out of this. And Robin, right. This is such a nasty situation, and these people are still people, and God loves those people, and I love these people. I mean, they don't care if I love them, but I mean, you don't even want to have to, oh my gosh. Yeah. But can we talk about this, Robin? Because we're going to get into another clip that does the same thing. All right. And you don't get to bail early. I need your help here tonight. But this thing of, so what's going on here is the husband, Junior Mint, is when it serves his purpose, he really wants this couple to drive an hour and a half to come hear him preach. And he's going through the laundry list of how woe is me, woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. And
Manipulation. Yeah.
thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a very, very good friend of mine, and I'm so proud of the work that she does, and it's just incredible. And I called her this morning. I said, "I could really help me," and boy, she knocked it out of the park. Folks, if you would like to support the program, you can go to our website, ohioforfreedom.com. A beautiful, beautiful, beautiful donate page, and we certainly appreciate your help and your generosity. And folks, I'm going to make an announcement that I could have made earlier, but be on the lookout because we have actually a couple of bombshells coming your way in the next couple of days. Until next time, God bless you. God bless your family. God bless the state of Ohio, the United States of America, and good night to all our friends around the world. Good night, everybody. I hear the sweet